Hi, good morning all. In today's session, we talk about the Spring Boot and MongoDB connection, how we can save the data or retrieve the data. So, for the just to basic understanding, this is our Postman or any third-party application or a UI, okay, which accessing our Spring Boot application. So this is a Spring Boot REST API application, okay. This application we build. This application connect with the JPA. It's a part of JPA, okay. All this is the part of JPA, and this will connect with the NoSQL database, okay. For our example, we are putting MongoDB as a NoSQL database, okay. Before going deeper into this session, we talk about the content. First, we check how to install the MongoDB, then create a database, create a collection. In SQL database, there is a table, but in a NoSQL database, there is a collection. So here we are checking creating the collection. Then rest of the part is a Spring Boot starter application, like application, dependency, configuration, repository, entity controller. Most of the things we already covered. We'll just check the what is the dip from the Java Spring Boot MySQL to Java Spring Boot MongoDB connection. Okay. So if you want to install the MongoDB, just hit that pre-install MongoDB. Automatically your MongoDB get installed in your Mac. Okay. If you want to install on a different server, just go on a MongoDB. They are defining how to install on a Mac, how to install on a Windows system, and how to install on a Linux system. So just follow the steps. The MongoDB get automatically installed. If you enter the MongoDB, that the MongoDB connection get started, and you will see this command prompt. Here you just hit use my database. Okay. So my database get created, and you are using this database. So, okay. In the next part, you need to create the collection. Okay. To just a simple, like this is the DB and issue is the entity, or you can say issue is the entity, and here you are inserting one row or one collection into these issues. Okay. So this is your kind of a row you can consider. This is a key value pair, like description and this severity and this, and assignee is this. So consider to just map from the NoSQL to the SQL. This is just kind of a row, and issues kind of a table. But yeah, if you want to just check how difference between SQL JPA and non-SQL JPA, okay, so you know everything about the MySQL DB because we talk into multiple sessions. So MySQL DB, we are writing like select star from book, and this output get show. Okay, if you want to create this, how you are creating a class for this? Okay, you are creating @entity and a class with this column like ID, name, and author. These three columns you are just mentioning here: ID, name, author. And for this class, you are creating a one repository where interface book repository extend the JPA repository. Okay, just to highlight, this is we are using JPA repository. Okay, but if you but same thing if you want to do in a NoSQL or a MongoDB. Okay, MongoDB, if you say db.book.find.pretty, pretty is that means the JSON is structured or formatted result you will get. So db.bookfind, you will get this row similar like as a SQL. This is in a collection form, in a JSON form. Okay, because this is a NoSQL database. So this is a JSON. If you want to convert this into class, then simply add the document, because earlier in a SQL here the entity is there, but entity replaced with the document because this is a NoSQL database and everything is in document. Same way, all the columns are need to from JSON. All these column need to map with here with the field, and here we are using Mongo repository. Okay, Mongo repository here we are using. Okay, that's the main difference. Here JSON data is in JSON. In a SQL, okay, we will write more in a format way. So, okay, SQL versus NoSQL, what is difference? Okay, NoSQL, first one is the here we are using JSON table format data. Okay, tabular. Here JSON formatted data. Here we are using @entity. Here we are using @document. Okay, then using JPA repository here we are using Mongo repository. Okay, these are the basic difference while writing the coding. We'll check upon more details. What are the things need to check? Okay, to install the MongoDB, there are few changes where earlier also multiple times we discussed about how to go on a starter or Spring IO or Spring initialization. Select here Maven as a project, and Java is the language. After that, Spring version we need to select, and in addition to earlier we are selecting a JPA and MySQL connector, but in our case now we are using MongoDB. Okay, because MongoDB came with the means MongoDB and MongoDB connector combinedly they are getting, so no need to add multiple dependencies, only two dependencies will find. Then click to generate. After clicking the generate, one zip file will become and will open into Eclipse or IntelliJ. If you check on pom.xml, you will find out these are the data from pom.xml. Okay, in a pom.xml, MongoDB is the proper dependency you will get, and web is the dependency. These are the database compression part. Okay, there are two ways to define that. Most of the common way is to define in a MongoDB host, MongoDB port, and MongoDB database. So similar way we are defining as a MySQL. Similar things we need to define, only the thing URL, database connection URL getting changed. Like here we need to mention like the username, password, and cluster MongoDB.net and the database name. Okay, yeah, that's the database compression part. Okay, DB compression part. Till now we did the pom.xml database compression part. This is residing into application.property file. Okay, till now compression is completed. Okay, now we need to define entity and map with the document. Okay, so first of all we need to mention at the document, which is the collection name. Okay, this is the collection name at a NoSQL database. In a collection we have ID, full name, all these things. It's 100% similar, only the annotations getting changed from SQL to NoSQL. I added another example for grocery item. We are doing the same thing. Okay, for this we need to define the MongoDB repository. Okay, because this is a NoSQL database, so MongoDB repository, and similar way we are finding the item by name and find all these are parameter we are using. So only the few classes implementation get changed, but rest of the flow or a process is the remain same to call the SQL over the NoSQL. No as such major changes will happen. At a this is a our starter or entry point. This is a pre-populated code, so no need to discuss that here. Okay, apart from okay, here, so in a service we are mentioning that directly we are mentioning that repository item.save and the find all method. Okay, we haven't implemented that. Similar way in a JPA, that method are provided by JPA. So here the Mongo repository provide that find by name and file method. Here we are mentioning the queries for native queries for execution, so that queries get fired on a database and result get populated and we are returning from the here. Okay, yeah, in the next part if you like, we discuss about the save and the find name. But suppose if you want to get, like, you can check here like item repository find name, and we are directly hitting the name out of this and returning that. Update category, we are doing some different thing, like update this is the existing category, so we need to and this is a new category. So first we need to pull out the data from category, so that's why we are saying item repository dot find all, and from this category we are pulling out the list, then iterating, setting the new category to existing item. Okay, here list dot for each we are iterating all the items and setting the new category, and now we need to save, like save all is the method which is provided by the repository. So that repository we are directly hitting the save all method. So this is the way we are updating one by one category. Delete also similar way, like the repository dot delete by. So all that this method whatever we are using, it's implicitly provided by Spring Boot. Nothing we are doing as such here. It's the same for SQL and same for non-SQL. Only the repository implementation get, because here also delete by ID, SQL also have a delete by ID, save all, find all the method are provided by Spring Boot. Okay, yeah, that's it. So we check about how to create the collection, read the collection. Here we are checking the delete the connection and update category, which is so update. So code operation we have done with the Spring Boot application with the MongoDB as a database. Okay, here we are using a Mongo repository and storing and retrieving the data from NoSQL database. Okay, NoSQL database, like a MongoDB is the database. Okay, yeah. Let me know if you have a question or if you want to more details on MongoDB sessions and all this stuff. Yeah, thanks all. Bye bye.